Hi, for today's teardown, olive green equipment. It was €1 from British eBay and really a good deal because it is worth quite a lot more. We have here a base plate and power supply plate and vehicular hosting for SEM-80 and 90 military radios. They are modern German military radios. It is this thing is usually called the ground plate 80, but here it was re-labeled and apparently refurbished because we have here a serial number plate which is not seems not to be original. We have a date of 2000 with apparently maybe warranty or utilization delay of 10 years, not sure what it means. NATO reference number, gamma, weird brand because it is actually made by Telefunken or Cell, this thing. And it is not the original brand, so I believe it was refurbished at some point. On the front we have 3 round plugs, some status lights, 7-segment display to indicate module number, 2 push buttons with or without antenna test apparently, and the main on-off switch, something like this. On the side it is interesting because here we can see we have a date code of 1986, which is much older, and here we have some approval tag of Cell Mannheim, so it must be a factory. More proof it is made by Cell, so which stands for Standard Electric Lawrence, here on the top. Here it is the connector going to the military radio which is attached on it, with coax in the middle for antenna probably, airflow distribution here, 2 antenna plugs here. I did cover with caps because they were not provided. I think it is better with caps. Nothing on the back, but at the bottom, super strong and heavy metal plate, and again the date code of 1984 with Cell logo here. So it is quite a piece of serious equipment, as you can see. What do we have on the top? We have one little module here that will come away on this. So if you research, I will link maybe a few photos in the video description of the whole setup with the military radios. It is quickly looking very expensive and bulky and heavy, because you can stack not one but several military radios on this. So we will first have a look at this plastic cover, some kind of glass fiber reinforced cover, not sure. So we might have a fan somewhere in here distributing cooling air to the radio. It is a perfect opportunity to use my Allen bits I got from Banggood, like this, with rounded tips. It is the Brop brand, and really for the price it was €6 or something like this, and they are really nice quality, quite a surprise with it. So this is just a cover distributing airflow. So nothing particular to see here, but here I believe we will have electronics. So let's have a look in here, and the main access obviously will be at the bottom. It will be really interesting to see what we have in this thing. Very curious about it. The screws are not incredibly tight. Yes, it is coming off. So, okay, a little bit of rust here, but it did not go inside. Here we just have a multi-pin connector, more cell information with still the same date code of 1984. So it is when this thing was made. And in here is what it looks like. Little shielded module. Here some kind of programmable microcontroller, I guess. Here lot of resistor networks, little PCB with LEDs on the LED display, and the two push buttons onto a flat flex. Same date code here. And we have here an interesting module that I guess must be the quartz oscillator for the microcontroller, because I do not see any other quartz oscillator, so probably you need one. It will not be possible to remove it any further, but I see a quartz here through the hole. So yes, it is maybe ovenized or stabilized in some way. Quartz oscillator. Electrostatic sensitive sticker. And here are the chips for you. HEF 40 series mostly. So it must be some kind of integrated test feature for the radios. And you have here Gerrit. It means device 1, 2 or 3. So maybe you can stack up to 3 radios in this thing. Watertight covers here above the push buttons. And of course die-cast aluminium cover with a seal, which did actually work, because there is proof of moisture outside but not inside. So it is good. Okay, I will reassemble this and we will go to the other side. The other side. I need to undo the big bolts with 30mm key. So here I did already loosen the bolts previously because they were quite hard to undo. So it is not a problem anymore. Really serious equipment, as you can see. I love when you need bolts to undo. Luckily enough, it is all aluminium, this thing, because it is already super heavy, something like 10 or 12 kilos. If it was not aluminium, but still it would be even a lot worse. So here is what the plate looks like on the other side. Grounding logo here. Shapes for the for receiving the shock absorbers here. And yes, really super thick aluminium. So yes, we have a fan. Quite a big fan actually, blowing air from the bottom to the top. Here we have what seems to be a cover with a number of screws, and we have these things. I will check one of them if I can find the correct screwdriver. not tight at all. This is good. Quite weird hardware here with brown screws, brown anodized screws. And we have these things, quite beefy shock absorbers, and manufacturing stamp of Gamma in Suresnes. It is actually a French city near Paris, and it is a brand here on the front. So the thing was originally made in Germany, was retrofitted at some point in France, it seems, maybe for French army, but I did purchase it from Great Britain. Interesting. So these are shock absorbers with a rubber cup here and some kind of a spring assembly inside. You can see, sealed with brass rivets. And really serious hardware here. So I will put this real quick in place, and we will investigate the main cover. I am very curious to see what we will find inside. There is not a whole lot of space, by the way, it seems, because the fan itself is taking a lot of space. But obviously we must have stuff, at least. So let's do it. The screw is totally loose. Maybe someone did already have a look inside previously. Number of screws. We should be good. I do not see any screws on the back. Oh, okay. Nothing inside the cover except seal. And more manufacturing date information here. And here is what we have. Yes, some stuff, mostly big power supply related stuff, it seems. Little circuit board here on the side, another one here, the fan here. And you know what, I believe, let me grab a small screwdriver. It looks like it should be possible to undo stuff, because I see red screws, and usually with cell equipment, red screws need you need to undo them to remove the whole module. So I have wires here. Here they did pad the numbers over the wires, so I can undo them. I will be able to reinstall them in the proper order later, and I have a video anyways. Okay, so this is loose. I now can try to undo the red screws. One here, it is a captive screw, so you cannot lose them. And yes, it is totally working. Okay, I can undo this module. So made by Siemens, this one, with a model number here, seems to be mostly a controller for the fan. We have two pico fuse here. And here, two power transistors BD136, and it is all for this module. About the fan, while we are here, we can see here the main interconnect is made in this thing with a number of well, a big flat flex going everywhere. We have here the shielding. I believe we might have more electronics behind this for the at least connection for the antenna plugs here. We'll see if it is possible to take it apart further, just in order to have a little look in here. But first, the fan should be possible to undo it. If I find again my correct screwdriver. Okay. 3 wires fan, so either it is a DC fan with a speed pickup, or it is a 3-phase fan, but I do not believe it. The control electronics are quite simple, so it must be a speed pickup. So it is obviously made of die-cast, no, maybe of plastic, but there is weights they did apply onto some of the blades to equilibrate. Okay, and here is the information for you. We have what seems to be a NATO number here, Pabst, the famous brand of fans, 18 volts, 3 watts, or 32 volts, 9 watts. Interesting. Yes. Red, blue, and green for the speed sensor. Okay, so if I power it, it might actually be quite noisy, this thing. I will try it with 15 volts right now, after I reinstall the screws, because I do not want it flying in my face. So I believe this equipment is fully in working condition. Seems to be in good overall condition. Okay, let's grab some cables from the power supply and try to power it at least. It will be fun. Is it doing anything? 18 volts they are requiring. I believe my power supply is not strong enough. Quite sad. Okay, so it is a fail, but worth trying anyways. So next part should be to remove the main electronics assembly here. I can see screws with red here over the wires. Okay, really good design. You have just to unscrew a little bit and it will actually release the whole thing like this. It is nice. We have here what seems to be a filter assembly going to the main inputs of the box. So I will see if it is possible to take it apart also. So one red screw, 2 red screws, a little bit how you're doing here. You can see this thing. they did remove too much of insulator on the wire, and really you need a big soldering iron to do such a job. We have here what seems to be some kind of bus bars distributing ground and power. Two very old school looking capacitors, obviously. It should be coming off this thing. Ah, if I remove all the screws, it will be better, obviously. Okay, sorry for my head in the camera. Okay, really easy. So we have some little bit of PCB here. Lot of diodes, capacitors, transistors, and resistor networks, little transformer on it. Here, onto both sides of a piece of fiberglass material, two probably tinned copper bus bars. This one must be ground, obviously, and is bolted into the base plate here in die-cast aluminum. One obviously big inductor, because we have just two terminals here. Really big thing with a very thick wire coming from out of it. The capacitors have screw terminals, 2080 microfarads. Okay. Manufacturer info here, it is made by Siemens, and here attached with this giant bolt we have a Philips BZW86 power diode, it seems. Yes, or some kind of switching device at least, but you can see really enormous thing. Okay, so what next? This device, I'm quite curious about this. I did already check actually. Give me 1 second. What is this? So it seems to be a really well made thing here, which I will undo for you. I believe I have a correct tool. So there is this little plate over it. Okay, it is coming off. I want just to be able to check. Oops. Air packs, of course, Cambridge. So it must be delayed, some kind of a delayed switch, or a combination of a switch and a circuit breaker, apparently. Yes, we have load on line. So it is a switch we are using as a circuit breaker, well, a circuit breaker switch device. Quite interesting. I will need to reinstall this properly, but for now I want to have a look in this area here where the connectors go. So apparently the screws are possible to reach, not tight. I wonder what I will find here and here. This one will be a pain to install, by the way. And this one also. Okay, I will try to keep them in the holes. In fact, we have nothing but holes with flat flex, some kind of a filter capacitor here, pass-through capacitor, something like this, to filter some noise from the power supply. So obviously this plug is the main power supply, and we have only two contacts on it. So now I know where I can try to apply power. And here just flat flex on these filter devices here. And I did fail completely at keeping the screws in their holes. Are they magnetic screws? No. It would be too easy. So I will have some fun here for reassembling the thing. The other screw did fall here at the bottom, so I have just to, oops, it will be fun. Okay, so last thing, I want to have a look here behind this plate. So you can see the big flat flex here going to the connector for the top module. Actually two pieces of flat flex, one here, one here. Okay, I will try to undo this cover here. Same model of screws with two washers this time, not one washer. Okay, always fun when I need to reassemble all these things. And the next teardown actually will be the laser rangefinder or laser thing from a metal tank, and really it will be fun also. Okay, I do not see anything in here, just a metal plate. Interesting. It looks like these antenna connectors are connected to nothing. And actually, yes, there are no antenna connectors, they are just connector holders or plug holders, because I did just notice there is nothing inside. So they are to attach your wires where they are not in use, obviously, but serve no purpose for the antenna distribution. Okay, interesting. So I guess this will conclude this video. Quite very nice equipment, by the way, very nice parts and a nice thing to have in a collection. I would love to have a complete military radio set, but it is quite expensive and actually super heavy and bulky. So thanks for watching, bye bye.